Picture this. Max Verstappen is dominating Formula 1 again, sitting pretty with multiple wins under his belt. But here's the thing that keeps Red Bull bosses awake at night. Their second seat is once again a complete mess. Yuki Tsunoda, who was supposed to be the answer after replacing the struggling Liam Lawson just 2 races into 2025, is having his own nightmare. The Japanese driver has managed to score only 1 point in the last 3 races, and Red Bull's motorsport advisor Helmut Marko has already admitted they've written off their Constructors' Championship hopes. This isn't new territory for Red Bull. Since Daniel Ricciardo's departure in 2018, they've struggled to find a consistent second driver. After years of rotating through drivers without finding a lasting solution, Red Bull fans and team bosses are looking for someone who can finally break the cycle. Enter Isack Hadjar, the 20-year-old French rookie who's been the standout performer at Racing Bulls, currently sitting 9th in the championship with 21 points. Hadjar has been called the most impressive rookie by Red Bull's own Helmut Marko. So will Red Bull finally promote their most promising junior talent, and is the timing right? Let's rewind to March 16, 2025, a day Hadjar probably wishes he could forget. The Australian Grand Prix, his very first Formula 1 race, and what should have been the proudest moment of his life turned into a complete disaster. On the formation lap in wet conditions at Albert Park, Hadjar lost control at turn 2 and slammed rear first into the wall. His F1 debut was over before it even began. The images were heartbreaking. A devastated 20-year-old being consoled by Anthony Hamilton, Lewis' father, while the young driver was visibly emotional behind his helmet. Sky Sports commentator Martin Brundle captured the moment perfectly. He's crying his eyes out, I suspect. It's a lifelong commitment. You've done karting, junior racing, the family sacrifices. He's finally a Formula 1 driver. And boom, he's had a very silly mistake. But what happened next truly defines Hadjar's character. Since that disaster, he's delivered remarkably consistent performances, including a career-best 6th place finish at Monaco. This result came after he'd crashed twice in practice and admitted his confidence was quite low going into qualifying, making his recovery even more impressive. Hadjar's comeback has been nothing short of extraordinary. He scored points in multiple races and currently holds 21 championship points, making him the second highest scoring rookie behind Mercedes' Andrea Kimi Antonelli. More importantly, he's shown the mental resilience that Red Bull values, bouncing back from setbacks with maturity that goes beyond his 20 years. Even Helmut Marko, known for his harsh criticism, has praised Hadjar's natural speed and personality, noticing how he can laugh about himself and brings humor to interviews. To understand why Hadjar's potential promotion generates such intense speculation, we must examine Red Bull's notorious second seat problem. Since Ricciardo's shocking departure in 2018, Red Bull has changed drivers very often, almost every season. Pierre Gasly's 2019 stint lasted just a half season before demotion to what was then Toro Rosso. He later revealed he didn't feel supported and wasn't given all the tools needed to succeed in the Red Bull environment. Alex Albon followed through similar struggles, unable to consistently match Verstappen's pace despite showing flashes of brilliance. Even Sergio Perez, with years of experience and proven racecraft, couldn't maintain the consistency required for Red Bull's championship ambitions. Most recently, Liam Lawson's promotion to Red Bull in 2025 ended quickly after he failed to score and regularly qualified last, leading to his demotion back to Racing Bulls. Yuki Tsunoda, who replaced Lawson, has also found life at Red Bull challenging, with only a handful of points and high-profile incidents, including a major crash at Imola, highlighting just how tough the second seat continues to be. The fundamental issue isn't necessarily driver quality, it's the Red Bull car itself, seemingly tailored specifically to Verstappen's unique driving preferences. The psychological pressure of partnering a 4-time world champion adds another layer of difficulty. Red Bull hasn't hired a driver from outside their program since Mark Webber in 2007, meaning every recent failure has been a carefully developed driver from their own program. This pattern has created what some call the Verstappen teammate syndrome, where promising careers can be derailed by being promoted too early to an environment that may not suit their development needs. The stakes for Hadjar's timing couldn't be higher. Given this dangerous pattern of early promotions destroying careers, Red Bull needs to be absolutely certain about Hadjar's readiness. His journey through the junior categories tells us everything we need to know about whether he can handle the pressure. Hadjar's journey to Formula 1 wasn't exactly smooth sailing. In 2023, his rookie Formula 2 season with High-Tech was rough. He finished 14th in the championship, hardly the stuff of F1 dreams. Everything changed in 2024 when he moved to Campos Racing. Suddenly, Hadjar was a different driver. He became locked in an epic championship battle with Gabriel Bortoleto that went down to the wire in Abu Dhabi. The final race was pure drama. Hadjar needed to win to take the championship, but disaster struck at the worst possible moment. His car stalled on the grid, and he watched helplessly as his title dream slipped away. Over team radio, he called it the worst moment of my life. Raw emotion that showed just how much this meant to him. But here's what made Hadjar special. Even after stalling and falling a lot down, he didn't give up. He fought back through the field, showing the kind of mental strength that catches Red Bull's attention. That season, he won 4 feature races, tying the championship record, and proved that he belonged at the highest level. This proven ability to perform under pressure and bounce back from setbacks makes Hadjar's timing particularly interesting. While Red Bull evaluates his readiness, Formula 1 itself is preparing for its own massive reset, one that could give Hadjar the perfect opportunity to establish himself at the top level. Formula 1 faces its biggest transformation in decades with the 2026 changes, and the timing could be perfect for Hadjar's career trajectory. Christian Horner has called it probably the biggest change F1 has had in 50 years. Both chassis and engine regulations will change simultaneously, creating unprecedented opportunities for drivers and teams to reset their competitive positions. Red Bull is making their own massive transition, partnering with Ford to develop their own power unit for 2026, moving away from the current Honda partnership. The new regulations will feature significantly more electrical power, nearly 300% more than current systems, and required sustainable fuel. This technical revolution could level the playing field and provide the perfect opportunity for new talent to establish themselves. For young drivers like Hadjar, regulation changes represent golden opportunities. When everyone starts from scratch, experience advantages diminish significantly. Teams often seek fresh perspectives during major technical transitions, potentially opening doors for promotions that might not occur during stable regulatory periods. The learning curve becomes steeper for everyone, not just rookies. The timing alignment appears almost too perfect. If Hadjar continues developing through 2025 and early 2026, he could be ready for a Red Bull promotion just as the new regulations take effect. This would allow him to grow into the new technical framework alongside his team, rather than trying to adapt to an established car philosophy that may not suit his driving style. While this perfect timing scenario sounds ideal for Hadjar's career, there's one major complication. Racing Bulls doesn't want to lose their star driver. The team that has nurtured his development now finds itself in a complicated position. They discover genuine talent, but risk losing him to their parents' team's needs. Team management has made clear their preference for keeping Hadjar longer, viewing him as a crucial part of their future. The team has invested heavily in Hadjar's development and sees him as essential to their future success. Racing Bulls has evolved significantly from its pure junior team origins, now sharing substantial technical components with Red Bull Racing, including gearboxes and suspension system. Their 2025 car architecture is based on Red Bull's successful RB20 platform, giving Hadjar experience with similar technology he'd encounter in any promotion. This creates an ideal development environment, competitive enough to challenge drivers and provide meaningful racing experience, but without the crushing pressure of fighting for championships that has destroyed previous Red Bull second seat occupants. Team principal Laurent Mekies has praised Hadjar's development journey, noting his remarkable growth and impressive results while emphasizing the importance of proper development timing. The Racing Bulls car has been described as one of the easier, if not the easiest, to drive on the grid, compared to the notoriously tricky Red Bull. This allows Hadjar to build confidence and refine his racecraft without the technical challenges that have overwhelmed other young drivers. However, the question remains: when does supportive development environment become career limitation? With all these factors creating such a complex situation, it's time to cut through the analysis and get to the heart of the matter. So will Isack Hadjar join Red Bull? Let's weigh up all the factors. The case for promotion is strong. Hadjar is having an impressive rookie season, currently sitting 9th in the championship and carrying Racing Bulls almost single-handedly. The 2026 regulation reset could provide a perfect opportunity for a fresh start. Red Bull's ongoing second seed struggles are becoming embarrassing, and Hadjar is clearly their best internal option. But the case against is equally compelling. Hadjar himself admits he's not ready yet, showing remarkable maturity for a 20-year-old. Racing Bulls desperately want to keep him for the proper development, and the cautionary tales of previous Red Bull second seat occupants are also hard to ignore. Looking at the bigger picture, the trajectory is clear. Hadjar represents Red Bull's best hope for finally solving their second seat puzzle. He has the speed, the mental strength, and the right attitude to succeed at the highest level. To me, it's almost not a question of if he's going to make it to Red Bull, but when he's going to make it to Red Bull. With the pressure mounting and the need for results growing, Hadjar's promotion could come much sooner than anyone expected.